So we just got back from our evening walk. We don't have a lot of ritual right now in our household, but this seems to be the consistent one. Tonight we're going to pull out our starter because this weekend we're going to be working on some sourdough.
Like the stars taught you.
So sourdough is a huge part of our normal weekly life, so we've decided to share a little bit about sourdough and how we use it in our household. Traditionally, a sourdough bread is only made with a few ingredients: flour, water, salt, and starter. That's it. So our starter is basically a live culture. It's something that we need to nurture and maintain in order for us to keep it around. When you add flour to water, the bacteria in flour and the surfaces that you have touching all of that start to ferment. And that's what starts making this yeast grow and bubble. It feeds off of the flour, things like that. This is Satchel. He is a 7-year-old sourdough starter. We've named him Satchel because it's a baby name that I wasn't allowed to have, number one. Number two, it's harder to let something die that you've named. Our friend Satchel is not going to be ignored. Basically, he's our counter friend. We pull him out and then we feed him, make him very happy and bubbly. And then we take a portion of him to... Is it weird that I'm using male pronouns for my starter? We're going to take a portion of him and use it to leaven our bread. Feeding a starter is not difficult. You would just take a portion of it, discard the rest, and then add flour and water and allow it to sort of get strong again and bubbly. And from there, you take a portion of that to use to leaven your bread. I like to feed my starter in the evening so that in the morning it's ready for us to start baking with. In the morning, when we have our happy starter, we take a portion of it and we add water to it.
What is that?
It's a starter with water.
Starter with water? Can I do it too?
Yeah. Really carefully.
It's really fun to mix and make like this.
Yeah?
I like it. And I like to smell it.
You like to smell it?
Yeah, the smell is a lot.
The smell is a lot, isn't it? And from there, we add our flour, and then we try to kind of get everything mixed together and ready and smooth. At that point, we let it sit for a half an hour, and then we fold it again. Then we let it sit for half an hour, and then we fold it again. And then we let it sit for an hour, and then I fold it again. After we fold it for the last time, we allow it to rest for 1 more hour. And then from there, we can put it into our proofing basket where it will sit for 3 to 4 hours. And then I put it in the refrigerator to rise overnight slowly. And while it rises slowly, the fermentation causes that sour taste. And it's not sharp. but the longer that it ferments in the refrigerator, the sharper the flavor it would be. I bake my sourdough in a cast iron Dutch oven. I have a lot of them, but we have a very small one that fits in our little oven. Basically, I preheat it ahead of time. I add the dough, I close the lid, and then we bake it for a short period of time until it's basically cooked. Then we remove the lid and then bake it longer so that it gets that crispy, dark, lovely brown color. And when you knock it and it's hollow, it's finished. I think a center temperature should be about 190 degrees, but it's never made it that far for me, because we just put it on the counter and eat it right away. You can use your sourdough starter to make things like banana bread or pancakes. Anything that you could use baking soda and baking powder with as a leavener, you can use a sourdough starter as a leavener. I like to stick with old cookbooks, but you can totally find tons of recipes for sourdough somethings all over the internet.